welcome to the cottage. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and we're doing a tarot talk challenge with my special guest, Lori. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Lori Cunningham. I am a newly dedicated member of the Desert Garden with Coven. So excited about that. Been practicing my spiritual journey for about 3 years now, which is exciting. And I wanted to share some oracle cards with you today.
Yes, this will be the first time we did the Tarot Talk Challenge with Oracle. I'm very excited. I love a challenge. I love a challenge. So thank you very much for throwing that obstacle in my course because, it's getting too easy. I needed a wrench in my plan, so I appreciate that.
I am nothing if not challenging.
I love it. I love it. So if you're new to the Tarot Talk Challenge, what we do is we bring a tarot deck or an oracle deck in this case, and we draw a card and we ask a question based on that tarot or oracle card. Can you tell us about the oracle deck that you brought?
Absolutely. This particular deck is the Witch deck. Witch meaning woman in total control of herself.
I love that.
It's amazing. But what I also like is I've done several reads for men with this deck.
Nice.
And it's appropriate. It's the messages have always come through very clearly. I love the artwork. This is actually the first deck that I ever purchased for myself of oracle or tarot, and nailed it first time. So
nice.
Excited about it.
Nice. Yeah, I think the first deck, I know the first deck that I ever bought was, I always call it the basic bitch. Classic yellow box Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. Yeah, that one. The cliche, normal, everyday, classic tarot deck. That's what I bought. I think, it's like your witch. You get your witch card with that deck. They give it to you as soon as you purchase it, I think.
That was my first tarot deck too.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Still have that one.
All right. I think we're going to dive right in.
Awesome.
I think we're going to dive right in. As a guest, I will let you choose the first card. So.
Awesome.
She's doing it like a pro. I love it.
This one.
Is that one screaming your name?
It's screaming my name. Screaming my name. Oh. And this is the Wonder Hunter.
The Wonder Hunter. Isn't that beautiful?
You can see why I love the artwork on these.
Very beautiful. So, the Wonder Hunter. So, in your life, when have you ever been the wanderer? And when have you ever been the hunter?
Oh, so in my life, what's not to wonder about? The wonder hunter for me is all about keeping that childlike curiosity. What's the next thing? How are we going to move forward? So throughout my life, I've always considered myself childish.
I love that about you. This is why we're friends.
Always considered myself very childlike. I love change. I love the new. I love the mysterious. And what I've been pursuing that wonder in my career, in my family, with my children, but most recently with my spiritual journey. What's there? What's bigger? It's bigger than me. Mm-hmm. There's so much out there. And, it's that constant, where is it? Where is it? How can I get it? How can I get it? And you almost feel like a little kid with a pith hat on, walking through your grandma's, overgrown garden, looking for a new bug. But yeah, I really think that we've got a lot of good things coming the second half of 2025. And I think the Wonder Hunter is going to be a really critical card, at least for me on my journey for the second half of the year.
Oh, I love that. Great answer.
Thank
Great
you.
answer.
Thank you.
You're going to be a pro at this. I just know. This one gave me alarms. So, Goddess of Grace. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is gorgeous. Goddess of Grace. When have you felt in your life you have dealt with a situation where you've had to be the Goddess of Grace, where you could have not been, but you chose to be the Goddess of Grace?
Oh, wow. You know, being able to give people grace is such a hard thing, especially in our culture of, you know, me first and, you know, get more, get better, get better. Mm-hmm. And the Goddess of Grace really came in critical raising my two boys, you know, raising my boys. But it wasn't so much giving them the grace as giving it to myself. You know I'm not a perfect person, and I know I messed up so many times. But, you know, being able to look at it and say, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. My children don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. I wasn't intended to be perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. How's that?
I love that, yeah.
And that's okay. But I really think that we have to deliver that message to more people of not just be kind to others, but be kind to yourself and just give yourself a break, because everybody's going to mess up. Things are going to be wrong, and there's no blood on the floor. You know, nobody's been hurt. You know, just give yourself a little bit of grace and let it ride out.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna like make me cry, because like I think that's so important. You know, our kids are gonna fall, and to not blame yourself for every time they fall is so important. They're gonna fall. They're gonna hurt themselves. You're gonna have to take them to the emergency room eventually. And and you can't always hold their hand and be right next to them the entire time. Yeah.
Yes. And you have to teach them. People need to be taught to give others grace.
Yes.
And to give themselves grace, especially kids. Kids think, oh, I've ruined my life. Mama's going to be mad at me, you know, whatever. It's like, it's okay.
There's literally nothing my kids could do to make me hate them or shun them.
Exactly.
Don't tell them that. Like, I will love them unconditionally for the rest of their lives. Yeah, absolutely.
And yet, how many times do we shun ourselves?
Oh, I know. You are so right.
It's a hard one. Right.
Yeah, it's the hardest job ever to be a mom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, great answer.
Do we get another one?
Yes.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, man, I love this deck.
Yeah.
It always gives you what you need the most.
Mm-hmm. W.I.T.C.H.
It's the witch card.
When have you had to be a woman in total control of yourself, where you could have slipped over that edge, but you had to pull back?
So many times.
Daily.
Daily. But let's go with an easy one. Oh, yeah, this is easy. You know, so many of us have been there where we've been married and it didn't work out. And questions come up about, can you handle it alone? So I became a single mother with my oldest son. He was 11 years old. No, he was 11 years old the second time I became a single mother.
Ah.
I became a single mother when he was 6 years old. And it was really hard physically, mentally, financially. And I had to draw on every bit of my magic, of my knowledge, of my self-awareness to be able to maintain a solid household for this little life-sucking parasite that I love beyond all human comprehension. And just to let him see that we were going to be okay. I had to be in charge of finances. I had to be in charge of, the home, my career, his schooling, where we were going to live, everything. And being that in total control, I could have gone too far because we don't have to control everything all the time. That's not healthy. And it's easy to step over that line and to say, I'm going to just control everything that ever comes into my life. But you miss so many lessons that way. And you miss the positivity and the happiness that life brings. So I think part of being that witch, woman in total control of herself, or man in total control of himself, is understanding when it's okay to say, you know what, I don't have to be in control today. Why don't you decide what we're going to have for dinner? Why don't you decide what you're going to wear? Even those little steps like that
give a little bit of slack.
Feel where that line is, and that it doesn't have to be a distinct line. You can have gray on either side. So I
think that is a little bit of that grace coming in there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. My turn. This one way over here is pulling at me. We were talking about this. The Hive Queen. Look at that. I love her. So when have you had to be the Hive Queen, been like a leader in a community? Or when have you felt like you've had to kind of step up into that role?
I love this one because it means so many different things. But in this case, the question that you've asked, I'm going to talk about my career.
Oh, wonderful. Please do.
Because I was an officer in the United States Air Force.
Thank you for serving.
It was my honor for 8 years. And so I had people who depended on me, people who knew exactly what they were doing and knew their jobs so much better than I ever could imagine. But my role was managing. My role was to, okay, we have to go this way. Our mission goes in this direction. And how are we going to keep doing all of these individual jobs as we move forward and work as that hive to make the organization stronger, to make, things better. And so, that's kind of an obvious answer, because we have those leadership opportunities every day. And whether it's just leading yourself out of darkness or organizing your own home or going out and taking care of 100 people.
Right.
Being able to step into that role when you need it.
Absolutely. It's a very important role.
Yes.
I mean, you had to be that Hive Queen, and somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it, but then you also have to, as the queen of the hive, to let other people come into their power as well.
Yes.
And to grow and to learn and to provide those opportunities, because the Hive Queen is not going to be there forever.
Nope.
And helping people grow into that so that the next one can take over and the next one, and you have something to to build on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that. I gave Miss Lori a role to do for our midsummer ritual, and I said, "Hey, do you want to be in charge of the flower crowns?" And she responded, "Now, is there a certain way you want me to do it, or are we just winging it?" I'm like, you know what? Got this. She did. And, she let everybody have their own unique way of doing everything. And it worked out so wonderfully. Everybody had their own unique crowns, and it was just wonderful. And yeah, everybody left here looking amazing. I was looking around this circle, and everybody had their own unique crowns. And Vesper with her crown that was too big for her head, and it went all the way around like
Her neck.
like a necklace. It was so great. So yeah, you definitely have that leadership role down pat.
Thank
so
you.
I loved it.
Thank you.
Something about me knew you'd handle that role just perfectly, and I was so right. So.
As long as I don't have to be artistic, we're all good. Let everybody grow.
Whether you knew it or not, you sure were. You sure were creative. You were artistic. Absolutely.
It was fun. It was fun. Okay.
All right, here we go.
The dancer.
Oh,
I love
dancer.
that.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, when in a situation in your life have you had to metaphorically dance the dance, but maybe not, kind of like fake it till you make it kind of situation, dance the dance, but just kind of, not really felt it, but you had to kind of walk the walk and talk the talk, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. I love the dancer. And you could see by the picture when she held it up.
We'll do it again.
She is just having fun, and the animals are having fun and kind of expressing herself. But sometimes we are in those situations where, no, you have to put a face forward. You have to communicate the accepted or expected message, and you have to fake it. And every parent has done this. I've got to raise this child, and I want to laugh because my child is giving me, telling me something that went on at school that's completely inappropriate. And me with my Gen X sense of humor, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's awesome. But I have to teach my children, no. So you do this dance that's been choreographed of being the upright, the upright parent,
like this.
Yes, but you're going to fit in the box this time. And that was not nice to tell little Johnny, and you shouldn't do that. Now let's go get cupcakes, because I think that was very creative. but it's a fine line. And on the card, she's dancing on a black and white floor.
Uh-huh.
So where do we step?
Right.
How do we step? How do we maintain that balance?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a dog, it's actually a little goat that's dancing with her. How does he see you?
Right.
Does he know I'm faking? Because I can tell you, most kids know you're faking.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mine did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially when they got a second dessert. But
Mom's proud.
I was so proud.
She got on to me, but I know she's proud.
That's it. Don't get caught next time. But that dancer is about expressing the message that you want to express, either one that you've been given or that one that you carry deeply and comes from within you. And how do I express that? How do I bring that forward?
Right.
And it's a critical one, and I'm looking at how these cards are tying together. So,
well, we're
it's a lot of fun.
We're gonna allow you to read your life here when we're done. So we have 2 more.
Awesome.
So is it my turn?
It's your turn.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The card is yelling at me. Pick me. Harpy of Rage.
Harpy of Rage.
Oh my.
Yes.
When have you had to be the Harpy of Rage? So that you can talk about.
Okay.
That you can share.
I'm in every deck.
The talons had to come out.
Whether it's Oracle or Tarot, you pick cards that you think, oh, this is negative. This is, but the card is not negative, and you have to look at what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you coming from?
Mm-hmm.
When have I had to be the Harpy of Rage? So many times.
Mm-hmm.
When that anger just bubbles up inside of you, whether you were wronged by an ex or wronged by a boss or somebody's not listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened so many times throughout our lives as children when somebody steals your toy or won't share with you. The Harpy of Rage is all about get it out.
Absolutely.
Don't hold yourself back. Say, not cruelly, but say the things that need to be said.
Mm-hmm.
That was unfair. You mistreated me. You made me feel less than. And then let it go.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
That's the kicker. And then let it go.
And then let it go, because a harpy has wings. And whenever I see this card, it's about get that rage out because it's doing you no good.
It settles into the kidneys and liver, and then it can cause damage.
Not the heart. I'm kidding. That too. It settles into everything.
Yeah.
But it's that, let it out, let it go, puddle, scream into the void, scream into your pillow if the void is full, let it out and then let it go and move on, spread those wings and go on. And the talons, because you specifically mentioned those talons coming out. There's an old song that said, I just want to be mad for a while. I just want to be mad for a while. Hold on to it, but don't carry it. Because as long as you have those talons sunk into something, you can't move forward. But sometimes I just have to hold this for a minute. I just have to hold it and observe it and what's it doing to me and what is it making me do.
Right.
And then move forward.
Absolutely. Great answer.
Thank you.
Great answer.
Thank you.
I'm going to take that with me.
You'd think I'd done this before, huh?
You're a pro. Yes, absolutely. All right. This is the last one.
Do I get one more?
Choose wisely. Yes.
Hello, baby. The medicine woman.
Oh, wow.
The medicine woman.
I love that bear.
Yep. That's one of my spirit guides.
Medicine woman. Ooh.
The bear is one of my.
So I'm going to let you, because you just said that, I'm going to let you choose the question.
Oh.
What do you want to talk about with the medicine woman?
Okay.
Ask and answer your own question.
I want to know about the medicine woman. What healing do I need right now? What healing do I need? The medicine woman is all about, and there's a reason that she appears with the bear, because what does the bear do in the winter? The bear goes into itself. The bear goes into hibernation. Actually, it's torpor, but that's okay. I live with a wildlife biologist. Hi, sweetie.
Awesome.
And what bears do is they go into this torpor and they go to sleep, and they will give birth in that. They will nurse their babies in that. They will come awake immediately if they need to. But what it does is it gives them that chance to just encase themselves in comfort and quiet and rest and allow their bodies to do what needs to be done. And it's something that particularly in the West, in Western medicine, we don't do. We go, 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 go. We never stop. We never look at what our crazy lives are doing to our psyches, to our spirits, to our bodies. And so, what healing do I need right now is physical. There's a physical need that can be served by just removing yourself and quieting the mind and allowing nature to comfort you. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And who wants to be outside right now?
No. No, not in Arizona.
I know I have gardening to do outside, but I need to wake up early in order to do that. Or I need to be out there later in the evening when it cools down, but it's too dark. So it's like, all right, I need to set my alarm for like 5 a.m. to get out here. Because when I finally get up and around, it's too hot outside already. So hopefully we will get some cooler weather very soon.
Yes.
All right. Here are our 7 cards. So do you want to do a summary?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Do you want me to hold them up, or are we good?
Huh?
Do you want me to hold them up, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. I think our audience remembers kind of. And if you need to reference something, we can hold them up.
Sounds good. So the way I'm looking at this, it is a message of my life. And I have been getting many messages about this lately from both past life regressions and, spirit coming in and saying, McFly.
Anyone home?
Anyone home? So, beginning with the Wonder Hunter and going into the Goddess of Grace and then the Witch card, this is telling me about the trials. I've gone out looking. It's almost like the Fool, beginning
Fool's journey, yeah.
The Fool's journey, beginning that journey and understanding that I don't know everything and that it's okay. It's okay, and giving myself grace and allowing my own power to come through, and realizing with that Witch card, woman in total control of herself, is that I've already got the power. I have the power within me. It's more a matter of unlocking it than trying to track it down or create it. So that's kind of, going into, and then into my career where I was the hive queen, both at home and in my profession, and providing these messages, these dances that I was told to, and then eventually finding the power to dance my own dance and to interpret my own life. And there's been all of us, none of us are immune from torment or trauma. So, but understanding that going through that trauma is how we grow, and how we expand, how you spread your wings. A butterfly can't get out of a chrysalis without really fighting for it, right?
That's right.
And it's okay to scream. It's okay to do that, because it leads to healing.
Absolutely.
And to me, this is the cycle. We began with a young Wonder Hunter, and we end with the old medicine woman going in to the den to heal and to pass into that next cycle and coming back as that Wonder Hunter. So, I really do see this as a fool's journey,
Mm-hmm. Very much
and it's
so.
this cycle. And I do believe that we're coming up to the end of a major cycle, coming up here. So, and it's a beautiful message that it doesn't end. It just keeps going.
Yep.
And
absolutely
learning and improving. And
yes,
what do we
we're
carry
constantly going through these cycles. And I feel like if we don't learn a lesson, we're going to repeat that mistake.
Absolutely.
Until we learn it. Why do I always keep attracting these kinds of men? Well, obviously you're not learning from that mistake. So the universe is going to give you that because you've got to learn from that mistake. Otherwise, you're going to keep repeating that message over and over again. And so I feel like with this, all of these hard lessons, you're getting the medicine from.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting the medicine from, and each journey you go through, you're taking that medicine with you. Absolutely. I love this. This was so awesome. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. I think not only do I learn a little bit about you doing this, but I think you learn a little bit about yourself doing this. And I think that's the beauty of it. And that's why I love it so much. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that was Tarot Talk with my special guest, Lori. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give this video a like, share if you think other people would be interested in this. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss more videos coming up. All of my information is going to be down in the description box below. Other than that, live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.